Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian.is.weird. So today, in our 100 Nights of Halloween, we are watching Halloween on day 40, countdown day 40. So I guess it's going backwards. I'm still wearing what I put on earlier. So if you're wondering why my face looks like this, that's why my face looks like this. It's because I just was playing around with makeup, just having fun, no rules, just going for it. So yeah, today we're going to be watching Halloween, which I've never seen before. I know it is a pretty important staple in the suspense horror type movies. I'm hoping the suspense won't like. I'm hoping I can take it, not be a total baby, but we never know, and sometimes that's just how it be. So if it is too scary, we'll just watch something different. That's totally fine. That's really not a big deal. So I'm going to try to. So I know it's on AMC Plus. So Halloween. And then I'm going to connect my phone. My hearing. Yeah, there's a lot of titles, not so surprising, that have Halloween in the title. So I gotta search a little bit for the right movie because I want to watch the correct movie, obviously. So let's see. I hope everyone's doing well. Nope, I didn't mean to write ham. I meant to write Halloween. Let me check this out. Like, my Roku said that it was on AMC Plus, but this is just a lot of stuff with Halloween in the title. Okay, so I see Halloween 4, Halloween 5. There's Halloween, the original. Okay. So let us watch. One of my favorite and only facts I know about this movie is that to make Michael Myers' mask, they used a Star Trek William Shatner's mask to make Michael Myers' mask, which I think is probably one of the coolest facts that you could have surrounding this. So I'm going to continue working. I'm on the second sleeve of my top, and yeah, I'm just going to continue working on that. I love this little spooky jack-o'-lantern that's all goofy looking. Honestly, I had so much fun watching Happy Death Day yesterday that I was like, should I just watch the next one today? But to keep my word, I'm not going to be watching any sequels or anything like that. Because there's just, I mean, if you get into one series, like Friday the 13th and like the Aliens franchise and stuff like that, Predator. Like there's just so many iterations like that. Like you could spend half of this 100 Nights of Halloween just watching the same movies, or watching like you know the same series. So I wanted to make sure that I was changing it up as much as I could. Um, I just thought of one. Okay, so Haddonfield, Illinois. So it's kind of hard to tell at the beginning if we're seeing kind of like a point of view type of camera, this like shaky lens. Yep, it looks like that's kind of what they want us to do, even though that's not how humans would move. But okay, we're just going to disregard that fact. Okay, we're watching two teenagers, young adults making out on a couch. Someone's outside the window. Very silent. Beginning where I was like, is my audio right? I don't know. A little synthesizer action. The back door is wide open, and I'm not talking about the teenagers. They just left the back door open, which I guess helps for like the camera movement, but does make it a little sus, right? The person's wearing like a green, like satin kind of costume, maybe. Okay, someone's coming downstairs, but not looking at the camera. So either they didn't see the camera because it was kind of person, the point of view, who's, you know, is the point of view we're supposed to see because it's or what. Um, but it still seems like it's supposed to be like a point of view type deal. Then they put on a mask, the mask that the young adult was wearing. So now there's a lady naked, brushing her hair, or almost up. See that there's been some bed action. Michael. Okay, so we see the knife, but we don't see the knife go in her at all. Like it's all like, and then we see her bloody. No knife wounds. Okay, so that's lazy makeup. If you ask me. And then there's Michael, who's a little kid who stabbed someone with a very large knife. Like, the knife is like half the size of this child. So Smiths Grove, Illinois, 1978, day before Halloween. I didn't keep track of the year in the first one. I don't know if they shared it. There's a nurse. I dropped a stitch marker. No, I'm just gonna maybe. So it's been 15 years since this. This nurse is chain smoking on her way on just like a really rainy drive. Thorazine, classic booty juice. Mentioning that they never want this kid to get out. So they have patients wandering around in the just pouring rain, the lightning, which is clearly a good sign. I guess it's the doctor who's in the car with her. Yep, he's wearing a gown. No, he's wearing a trench. Patient jumps up on the roof. Someone comes in and she drives off the road. There's a hand on the other side of the window breaking into the car. Clearly some malicious intent with the nurse, but then they take the car. They just wanted to get her out. The evil is gone, is what the doctor says. Hard cuts in this video. So back to the same place where we started, Hadenville, and then Halloween. Then we have Jamie Lee Curtis in the frumpiest outfit they could have possibly put her in. Okay, so now we see someone inside. We can see Michael start to get some fascination with Jamie Lee Curtis's character. Just watching her stalking. And the doctor is very specifically saying Michael is out and dangerous. But everyone's like, nah, it's been 15 years since he murdered someone. He's probably fine. Now they're in school, they're reading a story about fate and how no matter what happens, there's this fate. And Jamie Lee Curtis notices a station wagon, the nurse's station wagon, outside. And then the station wagon's gone. Little kid carrying huge pumpkin. being bullied. And then falls and busts open his pumpkin, which is pretty much how all pumpkin stories happen. And then Michael stops the one of the bullies, starts stalking another one of the bullies. I mean, the soundtrack of this album is so iconic. Even if you haven't seen the movie, you know the soundtrack. And now he's stalking a little kid who broke his pumpkin because he wants to see Jimmy Curtis again. Haddonfield. It's your funeral, is what the doctor says. So they can see where he took off his patient clothing and took some attire from someone else. And the matchbook from the car of the other person. So there's a dead body in the bushes that they didn't see, but the camera saw. So Lori notices the car that was stalking earlier is driving around again. Oh, yay. Nuts. Okay, so they get their first sight of Michael Myers. He's stepped behind the bushes. And she's paying attention to everything. She notices everything. Lots of windows open in her bedroom, which, always is a sign for, good things to happen. She sees Michael again, and then he's gone. He's a master of, like, I'm here, I'm not, I'm here, I'm here, I'm not. Obscene phone. She's lying with her, like, body off the bed. It's gonna be like a twin, and, like, clearly, like, there's no way that tall ass Jamie Lee Curtis is, like, ever would have ever fit this bed. So she's, like, making it seem like, oh, I'm just lying on, like, half the bed just casually. It's like, no, that bed is not made for adult humans with your height. Now she's holding a giant pumpkin, and she's having a hard time with it. So we know that the little kid was holding the pumpkin. was having a hard time with it because pumpkins are heavy, especially when you get to those big pumpkins. So if the kid was using a fake pumpkin earlier, and then when he fell, they swapped it for a real one. Took the gravestone off of Judith Meyer's grave. He came home. That's what the doctors said. He came home. They're playing Don't Fear the Reaper. Michael is following them. Just be natural. And she's okay, so we're gonna do one more rattle. And then there's the doctor right after. And then you see Michael drive right behind the doctor. going to be so hard to find where my loose ends that I need to sew in are because the yarn is very black and very hard to see. So if some ends don't get sewn in, it's like, yeah, well, that's what it is, you know. It's okay. Now it's dark. It's a lot spookier. What could come next? I'm sure we will find out shortly. Now the headlights are off. So now he's watching Lori's friend who is shouting out rude shit while he was driving. So you kind of assume she's going to get it first, right? In 1963 is when it happened. And it's been 15 years. We went into the same stage that I did before. See, the doctor is like, I know what's going on. Michael's obsessive. Doctor's got a gun that he just whipped out of nowhere. And he's like, oh yeah, I have a permit. He's like, with the cop. He's like, I've got a permit. just realizing that Michael's evil. Tuck comes in, starts barking. And she says, I'm about to be ripped apart by the family dog. So the kid that Lori's babysitting is seeing Michael outside of the other house and trying to get Lori's attention. And then he's gone again. And Michael's basically directly in front of her, and she is like not paying attention. Of course, there's no bra in sight. The dog knows what's up. The dog is like, I'm gonna fuck with you. The dog is dead. We don't see too much, so we can assume that the dog is dead, but we don't see any gory details, really. watching The Thing. Okay, so I got the sleeves done, and now I'm just gonna sew the ends in. So I'm going to go in and do my tails. Now, one thing about this yarn is it does tend to split, so having the fabric fusion is going to be essential because it just will frail over the place and it'll just be very, very messy. Even if you sew it, weave in all your ends really, really well, it's just going to look a little too... And then the kid is totally like not paying attention to the babysitter and her calls because she's so preoccupied with the Okay, so one down. And she's like stuck out the window, like half out the window. Utterly fantastic. Okay, so let me check the ends. Now there should be one at the top of the shoulder. Let's see. Actually, there's two at the top of the shoulder. Okay, some glue. It's like all of these like locks that don't work, like all of these things that are like now tropes. I see. And then she gets choked out by Michael in the car. Oh my gosh. Hilarious death. Hilarious, hilarious death. all the little boys trying to scare the little girl. Now he sees Michael carrying the girl he just killed. And now with this glue, it does end up being a little like hard once it's dry. So just kind of keep in mind where your knots are, where you're gluing things, so that if you have any sensory issues, or if it's going to end up in any more sensitive, like more irritating spots, like let's say like underneath your like under your arms or something like that, or that place where like a tack would hit, or any places where that's annoying to you. Um, Now the doctor's trying to scare people away from the house. Parking, getting high. Calling around these bushes. Saying death has come to your little town, sheriff. Damn you for letting him go if you are right, but I don't believe that you're right, and I also think it's your fault. And it's like the doctor's like, I'm trying to like not let him go. I'm trying to like not do this for a really long time. So can you not blame me for everything, please? I'm just trying to make sure that the ends don't just like fray all over the place. So once I get some glue on it, I'm trying to like thin it out a little bit with my fingers. now they're doing the exact same thing that happened when Michael killed, I guess, his sister, or the first person he killed. And there's a jack-o'-lantern literally next to the bed where they're doing it. They take the phone off and have it, and then they start doing it again, which means that anyone who was on the line could hear it. The jack lantern by the bed is absolutely ridiculous. That was like 5 seconds, my lady. That was not fantastic. Not for. I hope that's not your standard, your gold standard. She lit 2 cigarettes at once, though. So I mean, she's okay, this is the last one up top. It's a giant picture of a cat, which I really appreciate. That's been my favorite part so far. I mean, say what you will about these people, but they do have great taste. Giant cat pictures on walls, you know, things like that. And so now Michael's killing him. And he's just choking everyone. There's no knife, there's no nothing. But Michael is super strong and lifting this full grown adult man, frankly. Okay, now there's a knife. Now we see a big shiny knife. And one punch, and dude is dead. But now he's pinned to the wall with one knife. He's like 6 inches off of it. That seems very not plausible. And Michael's just like, you know, the girl he was with is filing her nails. And now Michael is wearing a sheet with glasses. Like a little ghost. And Jamie Lee Curtis is knitting. This is the worst. I'll kill you if this is a joke. Okay, so I think I've sewn in all of my ends, and this is the shirt. It is oversized, but then it also looks just hugely massive with the big old skull. It's very wide. But yeah, so the shirt, oh my gosh, it's finally done. Oh my gosh, it's finally done. Oh, I did send off the packer that I was working on um, the other day. Talked to the person who was buying it. They're like, oh yeah, I just want to make sure that it wasn't like overt. And I was like, yeah, totally understand. And so I like put a little bit of like, I think I put like two, like, uh, like grocery bags, like, yeah, grocery bags in it, and just to like fill it out a little bit so it wouldn't seem so obvious. So now the doctor sees the car that got stolen from the nurse. She's got a skein of yarn, she's got her knitting needles. The commitment to the knitting game, I like. It's because it's like if she was knitting, I'm gonna pause real quick. If she was knitting for a scene, right? They didn't show her actually doing anything, which I actually appreciate more if you're gonna fake knit, fake crochet in a movie. But they just showed her like holding the needles and kind of like moving as the phone rang. So you just saw her put it down really. So it's not like she like pretended to like rub two sticks together to make a fire. Like you see a lot of people when they try to knit in movies that they don't, if they don't know how to knit, they're just like holding this and like moving the yarn a little bit so it looks like you're knitting and you're like, that's not how you knit. Okay, sure. Um, but not only that, but in her bag, she has like literally a skein of yarn that you can see. It's not the same color as what the project she was working on, but we all know that when we travel and we crochet and we knit, we're carrying multiple skeins and balls of yarn. So I appreciate that. Like to me, that's a huge attention to detail that I think deserves to be warranted. It looks like we've got about 20 minutes left, and Michael has yet to meet Ori. So I think it's going to be an action-packed 20. So let's get it rolling. Actually, I'm gonna pause real quick because I have this book that I picked up from the library, which I'm very excited about. It's called Amigurumi Cats. Crochet Sweet Kitties the Japanese Way. Um, it says by Boutique Shop. And there's, I think, a handful of different cat patterns, more than a handful of cat patterns that you can do. There's different ways to color change, and they tell you how to do that. Different charts. Some of the charts are in a different way than I'm used to reading them, but then they have them in a way that I'm more used to reading them and how to do the increases and whatnot. So, so uh, we're going to start that, and I'm going to be making a version of my cat, my little catin Jean-Luc. So let me get that real quick. So I bought this when I initially planned on making my cat. So I wanted, so I got Friends Cotton 84 from Hobie, and this is the color 13. And this is so this is a one weight cotton, and I was going to double strand it with a kind of fuzzier yarn to create a fur-like texture because my cat is very fluffy. And so I got this. Um, I think the name is pronounced Sewick or Sewick, Cewec. I got this off of Hirschner's. I believe it's still there. It is the Anicia Kid Mohair. It is 76% mohair and 24% polyamide. There's no E at the end, so it's not polyamide, I guess. It's 25 grams. It is a one weight, I believe. Let's see if I can find it. This is the color 57. Now it doesn't say the weight on here, but if I recall correctly, it did say on the website that it was a one weight. So it's a very fine wool. It might even be a lace weight. It's super, super fine, but it does have quite a bit of fuzz. So I thought it would be nice to double strand it. But the idea of crocheting with this alone gives me heart palpitations. So these two together, I thought could make a really cool cat. Cool cat. Now I have a couple packs of the rainbow cotton 8.4. So I have the pastel rainbow pack. So I might be able to use this like creamsicle color, and then there's two whites in there. And then I have this pack, and this has shades of oranges. Kind of looks a little off color on the screen, but shades of oranges and then shades of yellows. So I can play with that as well. And then this is also 8.4, so it's the same thickness as this. I do have a couple of darker browns, but those aren't the colors of my cat. But if this was successful, I could make some little brown kittens. But I think I might utilize some of these colors as well, maybe. I don't know. None of them seem to go really well with the color of my cat as much as I had hoped. So I think I'm just going to stick to this, but I am going to take a color that's light for the face. I'm going to take this color that's in the yellow section, and this is the color, because I want to do some lightness for his face and his belly. Which are both very light. and then maybe do uh, some whatchamacallit, uh, striping for his coloring, because this actually goes really well with the color that I bought. Kind of has that same, just kind of brown undertone. These are always a bitch to get out of the bag. Because the tape is like, nah, not really. I'm not going to do this. I prefer, if you want to see the shade difference, this is a pure white, and this is the color 52 of the rainbow cotton. So you can see that, and then this is 13. So you can kind of see the difference. So it's got kind of a creamy quality. It's probably called like cream or oat or some kind of something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out the book and we're gonna start crocheting these. Now I'll have to figure out my hook size. Sorry. Um, so they said besides the hat for 23, which there's pattern for the number 23 cat. Crochet all with a 3.5mm hook, which I do have. So it's right here. So they want to start with a magic circle. I am so nervous to use this. I'm like, please don't be just a heinous mess or have me be allergic to it. Both of those options would not be preferable. Okay, let's get this party started, and then I'll try to open this up in this action-packed moment. Trying to find the end of this is a little bit of a nightmare. Jamie Lee Curtis is beautiful, always has been beautiful, is still beautiful. In moments like this, you know, you get like like kind of, you get to see just like her kind of like lit very dimly, and she's just a gorgeous woman. And you know, okay, where is the end of this yarn? How do I find it? Oh my god. Ugh. I think I might have. Oh, no, I haven't had the names on. But they still have the jack o' lantern lit outside. Okay, there's not an end. She's like going through all the names over and over again. Bob, Annie, Linda, Bob, Linda, Annie, Bob, Linda, Annie. Oh my gosh, I have no idea where this starts and ends. This is horrific. It probably would have been better if I had done this when I first got this, but I've had this probably for 2 years and have not done anything with it. So I imagine with moving and being touched and moved around, shown and stuff like that, that it's potentially felted together. So that's a little disappointing. Okay, so Okay, so I tried to take like a strand and see if I could get some stuff out of it, but that didn't work. Try to see if there's anything in the middle that would indicate an end, but it all kind of looks the same. How do people work with this stuff on a real level? Like, have you worked with this? How does it work? And so you see the tombstone for Judith Myers, and you see the girl that was strangled. And so and then you see the guy just like start to dangle from the and then you see another dead girl. Oh wait, that was a girl who was strangled. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Oh wait, did I find an end? Just I was not paying attention and I found an end, y'all. This is a big deal. Okay, but I see that it's pulling from the other side. I can feel it. So she falls down like a bunch of stairs. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit out of this kind of section. Okay. So now it starts with a magic circle and we're starting at the top of the head. Now Hobie is great because they put pull tabs on everything. So even their cotton, you get a pull tab on. I would just jam a foot through that glass door, babe. You gotta. It's just a ring holding it. So. Okay, so, but I'm gonna get a big knot. I feel it. Barf. Okay, now she decides to punch through the glass. See, I told you. And I like to keep, like, if I don't keep the pull tab, I'll put a tape on it or something. Because once I get used to the pull tab, and then she fell very dramatically. That was pretty dumb. I'm gonna be honest. Did she get stabbed or hurt or something? Because she's acting like she's struggling. Okay, so they want a magic circle. You can do. Now, with this weight, I do think a 3.5 is like a little small, personally, but I mean a little big. I would go smaller, but that's what they said, so I'm gonna. Okay, so we're gonna do 8 stitches. 1, 2, 4, 5. She's got her knitting needles. She stabs him in the neck with a knitting needle. That is one advantage to knitting over crocheting. And now she's got the huge knife. Where are these huge knives coming from? They're comically large. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can do 8 in the magic circle. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to close up the magic circle. And they did not do a continuous loop on this, so that's important to note. So we're going to add, for the next 3 rows, we're going to add 8 stitches per round. This guy really can't get into a locked closet. That's foreshadowing on your, for you. Okay, now he's deciding to punch into it because he already punched through a door. Then she like stabs him in the eye with a. Oh, and he dropped the knife. And then she stabbed him. So we kind of know Michael's going to set up at this point, right? Yep, he sets up. But the doctor sees. You should have got out of the house too, babe. Bad choice to just stick there, just wait around. And we see Michael, and we hear him get shot. We see him get shot. He gets shot several times, and then he ends up out there on the yard, in the yard. Just his body's just like. But we all know there's many of these movies. That's not the end of Michael Myers, is it? No one. Okay, so I'm count my stitches around. And then he's gone. No, we have no idea where he is. What's gonna happen next? Ah. And then the movie's over. So, first time seeing Halloween. Definitely did not disappoint. I would say that, it's hard to tell what a movie like this. I always say this with older movies, like, and movies that I wasn't around when they were being made, because like you don't really know the budget of said movies, but literally none of, like, you don't see any gore, you don't see anything. If you see anything, it's just like a little bit of blood, and that's about it. Like they don't show um, like any like of the special effects makeup or anything like that. So you don't know quite the budget that they had for these movies, how successful that they thought these movies would be, and as a result, you kind of don't know what they were working with in regards to those details. So I wish we could have seen like a little bit more of that, but it was more. I don't know. Like I felt like, and they might have mastered this in the later Halloween movies, but there wasn't even that much suspense in the movies because in the movie because you knew that as soon as that like kind of as soon as the music started, you knew that he was going to show up and going to do some shit, and I think that really like is indicative of like just it kind of I wish, I know that that is what they did, and it's kind of maybe it's not the proper thing to do in your watching like a classic movie like this, to say like they should have done something different. But and who knows, like maybe for this period of time, like that was peak suspense. But if like the minute that this bit of music is gonna start playing, that something bad is gonna happen, it just takes almost all the suspense out of it for you, and you're just like, okay, you're just waiting for something bad to happen. But like, not you. It's the pace of the Halloween movie is so slow that you you kind of know it's not going to be like a huge jump scare. Now, I don't think, and this is me talking totally out of my ass about the movie, I don't think that the Halloween series would have survived if every movie was this pace. If every movie, there was no surprise at all. Like, I don't think it would have survived. So they had to have changed the format. I do know that some of the Halloween movies have been kind of stricken from canon. I believe that some of the Halloween movies, not the Friday the 13th movies, right? Like some of the Halloween movies, like they've just like they did, what is it, like Halloween 3 and 4 or something like that, where they just kind of were like, yeah, we're just gonna not pretend like that didn't happen, and then we're gonna pick up and we're just gonna act like that didn't happen. We're just gonna do something different. Which I think that is them knowing that they need to do something different, but wanting to stick with the premise that they have. I don't mind that too much. Like, I mean, there's more than you would think. There's a lot of series that do that. I mean, look at the MCU. Like they act like shit didn't happen all the time, and it's like, nah, you did that. Especially early MCU, like that happened all the time. So I'm okay with it, as long as it's done better, which we can argue about MCU stuff later. But yeah, I thought, I'm glad that I saw it. I can definitely see how it turned into this big, movie series that it did. With Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and how she would end up as this icon, this horror icon, through this series, and how Michael Myers, being this kind of like unkillable, soulless killing machine, would be a really interesting premise to follow through with. So I'm really interested in watching more of them. I won't watch them with you, but I will watch more of them. Um, and yeah, that was fun. So did you? I know I actually kind of narrated through the whole movie, which if when in a movie like this, where I figure that probably all the people who are going to see this movie have seen this movie. So it's not like a brand new movie like Abigail, where people might not have seen it who really want to see it. So I could be spoiling it a lot for them. But this movie, if you haven't seen it yet, you likely aren't going to see it. So I did talk more through it. And then also was doing a craft where I could talk through it without much difficulty. And that was fun. So I, yeah, so I think that, yeah, I'll definitely watch more of them, and I probably will relook up which ones have been taken out of canon and just not watch them. Period. I've heard they're not great, and I'd rather have like a really fun experience with the Halloween movies than go and watch bad movies and then realize that nobody really counts them anyways. Because I think, what was it? Actually, was it 4 and 5? And then they did Halloween Kills. I don't know. I've got to relook it up. But on AMC Plus right now, they only have the original Halloween, and they have Halloween 4 and 5, or 3 and 5, or something like that. So I had fun, and I had fun doing my makeup today. It's really interesting because I'm just saying this as someone who likes to go on live and do things, and I've noticed like a viewership drop. And it's like I'm not like I don't give a shit really, but like, is this something that's still fun for people? Are people still enjoying like popping in and watching the movies together and talking while they're happening, and like me like doing my commentary at the end and throughout the whole thing? Or is this something that, like, I don't know, like maybe people aren't really feeling as much? Because I mean, we are getting really close to October, and I could switch gears and do something entirely different for the 31 days leading up to October. So I'd rather do that than waste time watching movies if people would rather see something else, because part of wanting to like hang out and entertain people is that there's people here to hang out and entertain. So if people aren't really feeling it, then I'd rather just not do it and do something different. But let me know what you think. Um, there's a couple things that I'm waiting for in the mail. Am I waiting for in the mail? Well, there's one thing. I know I'm waiting for my Hirschner's order, which I haven't actually. There are two. There are multiple things. So I'm waiting for my Hirschner's order, which it says it's been shipped, but the tracking number is not available in any of the tracking systems that I normally use. So it's not like I can't put the number in USPS or UPS. And I thought Hirschner's was US based, so I'm a little like, how do I find it? But let me see. I ordered, and I think I've mentioned this before. Um, but let's see. So let me see my. Uh, $5 shipping and $5 off. Of course, they always have the sales when I'm not buying them. But Kirshner's is usually very cheap. I bought the yarn on sale, so it wasn't like the worst thing in the whole entire world. But I really wish. Okay, it says September 7th. It said that my order from Hirschner's was delivered via FedEx Ground Economy Parcel Select. That is 14 days ago. So um, it hasn't. It hasn't been delivered. Oh God! Oh no! Oh no! They probably didn't deliver. They probably delivered it to the wrong place, and then I didn't see it, and now I don't have my yarn, and yeah, okay. Fuck. Okay, so I'm gonna have to find out what's going on with that, because they probably don't have the yarn anymore because it sells out. And then I'm also waiting on some of the Big Twist Halloween yarn. The newer colors, the two big colors, Spooky Season and Charging My Crystals, were available online. They might not be anymore. They sell out really quickly. I try to inform everyone on Army of Weirdos. The minute that I see, actually 2 minutes after I see that they're available, I order them myself first before I share with all y'all. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm greedy. Um, and then then I shared with everyone. So if you want to get in on sales, we'll we do try, and I do try to like share sales with people going on. So yeah, so let me know. Shit, I'm so pissed off. I've got to wait till tomorrow actually, I have to wait. Um, Monday through Friday. So I've got to wait till Monday to call them and see what's going on because I don't have an order um, from them. So, shit, 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 shit. Okay, well, this has been great. I'm super sad and I just want my Hershey's signed on. Okay, well, I'm going to talk to you all later because I'm just going to